It's the start of a new career mode series on the channel. I was thinking of what to go for, and I thought that I would bring about the return of Sebastian Vettel to Formula 1. So that is what we're going to be doing here. And you can see I'm choosing my teammate. It's a no-brainer. Any chance to kick Stroll out of the sport, we will go with Fernando Alonso. It's two multiple world champions in the Aston Martin team. This should hopefully be the start of good things for the Aston Martin team, who have had a bit of a drop-off in performance in real-life Formula 1. So hopefully we can get them to the top with two multiple world champions in the car. So let's go now to the car reveal to see what everyone's car is looking like. So, as you can see, we're just getting our first laps in the car, running through a couple practice programs, and I have to say, the feeling was quite positive. I was really liking this Aston Martin car. It felt quite nice to drive, at least in the practice sessions. Of course, when you get to qualifying, it's always a bit different, just getting a little bit experimental with the curbs here, seeing what this car, what it can and can't take. As you can see, we're very much within the practice times here. I'm not too sure how how hard the test sessions are. This is on the maximum difficulty on the game, 110, so I guess when we get to qualifying in the race, we'll be more, we'll be more indicative of where we stand amongst these lot. But you can see they're going P2, and we end it P8, ahead of our teammate Fernando Alonso, which is interesting to say the least, given I'd only done a couple laps in the car. But you can see now we're cutting straight into qualifying, Q1. We've already got a time on the board here, but just trying to, get another one in, because we're on the fringes here and we don't want to get knocked out in Q1. It'd be very, very embarrassing on the return of a four-time champion, but you can see we have both safely made it through, and Charles Leclerc, the shock result there, being knocked out in Q1, that's absolutely appalling for him, the king of qualifying. But you can see now at the end of Q2, coming to the line here, and it's only P10. You can see how tight the field spread is, but it's only P10, and I was thinking we're going to get knocked out, but amazingly, no one else set a lap time, so we've actually just made it in there to Q3, so that was very almost Q2 elimination, which again would have been very, very much a disaster on our debut, or at least our return to the Aston Martin team. So here we are in Q3 now, just charging up the battery and just for some reason locking up the front tyres. I don't think I was trying to heat them up. I think I was testing the brake pedal because it felt a little bit off. But you can see now we are on our lap, put it up to hot lap and open the DRS. So it all boils down to this, all this practice and preparation, and it all boils down to this lap in qualifying. So braking just before the 100-meter ball, down to third gear, just shy off the apex there, but still carried a lot of momentum through the corner, and using this curb on exit there to really maximise the track limits and just again keep up the momentum and stop scrubbing speed off. Braking at the 100-meter board, down to fourth gear. I didn't feel like the extra downshift. I felt like fourth gave me enough rotation. And now coming through, using all the track on the outside, but missing the curb there. I wasn't very confident on the curbs. Again, I am still learning the car. And here, I didn't really brake as much in a straight line as I would have liked to there. I was a little bit tentative on entry and lost a bit of time. Now coming here, trying to straight line the braking point as much as possible. And again, maybe could have carried a bit more speed through, but overall, it's been quite a neat and tidy lap so far. If we can just keep that up, then we should be in for a decent result here. coming through this corner, taking it in 5th gear, just skimming the curb there. You don't want to ride that curb, it'll unsettle the car. And now coming into the final sector, using all the track on the outside. I turned in way too early, I've clouted the curb, and that's cost me a fair bit of time here, but you know what, it's felt like a pretty good lap here as we're now coming into the final corner. Brake after the 100-meter board as late as I dare, trail braking in, and that is an absolutely perfect run out of the final corner. We're coming up to the DRS now, open it up, where are we going to get? Ah. Oh dear. Okay, that was a fail. That was absolutely appalling. What the hell? We're P10. We are actually P10. We may as well not even done a lap. We were nowhere near, you know, anyone. Nearly a second off the McLaren of Lando Norris on pole. But if Lando's on pole, at least we know that, you know, Max will win tomorrow, not Lando. Oh wait, that joke's outdated. We're in 2025 now. We're P10. Fernando's P7. You know what? We're both starting in the top 10. Hopefully we can deploy some team tactics. So let's go into the race. So here we are on the grid for our first race back in Formula 1 as the 4-time champion. We're using the night light filter here to help navigate us through this night race. The 5 red lights are on and it's lights out and away we go. A lot of wheel spin off the line, so much wheel spin, and we've lost the back end there. What the hell is going on here? Right, I'm going to have to make this up into turn 1, be as late on the brakes as I dare.
Are you okay? That was a big one. Confirm you're okay, please.
What the fuck? How the hell has that just happened? What the hell? We had no brakes into turn 1. You know what? This was the reason why we got such a bad start as well. Look at my braking. It's like 10%. And then it gets to 100 just in time to hit Checo. I mean, bloody hell. That was obviously, you know, I'd actually played this on a separate day to qualifying. And this was my first time running the game. And with the Thrustmaster T300 RS, you need a few seconds or just a few appliances of the brake and throttle pedal for it to be calibrated. So you can see I'm just testing them out here, but it looks like they're all good. So here we go, ready for take 2, and myself and Fernando have both got pretty poor starts here, but into turn number 1 now. Let's not make the same mistake. Let's go on the brakes into turn 1. Well, at least we know the brakes are working now, and we've already caused a safety car. Fantastic. I mean, what a return. What a return this is to Formula 1. We've already caused a safety car in our first corner. Wow, we didn't even know. I can't even say our first corner. We didn't even get to turn 1 before I'd already fucked up. I mean, Jesus Christ, just bringing out the bottle. I mean, what the hell was that? I've just blocked everyone. And Checo, well, he gets going again, but that for some reason's caused a safety car. Fernando cuts in the corner there. Thinks it's 2021 Sochi or something, but anyway, we're in P8, so we've actually gained from that, and you can see that's Russell pulling off to the side, and his car's smoking. God, I don't know if Max has made him cry or something, but he's pulling over to the side here, and I, for some reason, just let my intrusive thoughts win and tried to take him out, but failed, and he kind of avoided me there. But Russell is out of the race, so that gives us another free position into P7, and we are now behind Pierre Gasly, ready for the safety car restart. So, we're behind Pierre Gasly here, ready just to try and get him off this restart here for P6. So you can see we're preparing to go racing, but as always, just jumped the gun a little bit early, but I've timed it decently well, and now Gasly pulling away from us rapidly there, and I've made a very late move there as Checo going down my inside, but in trying to defend that, I've actually accidentally went up the inside of Gasly as we're 3 wide into turn 1, but I've just managed to take over the positions here. And once again, me not understanding the mechanics of this game, I had it in hot lap, forgetting that, you know, overtake exists, so just bear with me for this first lap or so as my brain catches up again. But you can see we are in P6 and we have Hamilton in front of us, Checo behind us. I don't know how long we're going to be able to keep Checo behind in that Red Bull. I mean, if it's anything like the real life Checo, then it should be quite easy. But, you know, this is the video game and Checo performs as we would normally expect him to when he's not in the Red Bull. But anyway, shifting down to second gear there, just trying to get some rotation. Remember, the car is, you know, has half a tank full of fuel as I do the standard, you know, shut up engineer part of the race. I always do that very early in the race as I do not like his voice. But anyway, coming into turn number 1, Ricciardo seems to have got us and so has Perez. Well, both Red Bull drivers there getting past us as I lose the back end there for good measure. And now we have Gasly behind us, and will he have a go? I don't think he will as I have the DRS. But no, he's, because again, very late move from me, but because I just didn't realise. Shut up. As I didn't realise that overtake is a thing, I just keep forgetting, and I have to tell the engineer to shut up again. I've literally just told him to shut the fuck up, and he won't stop talking. But anyway, we're still in P8, you know, need to just maintain a cool head. You know, we still have decent amount of points. Remember, we don't have the fastest car, so it's all about just collecting the points as Gasly, in saying that, halves our points as he goes past us. But I'm going to try and hang it around the outside here, turns to the inside, and I'm just going to run him out of road. I was at the apex first and I was a car ahead, so it is legal. So, it's lap 6. It's been a pretty hectic start to the race. You've had a safety car, we've had some overtaking, we've had Russell pulling over, you know, we've had quite a few things go down. But as things start to settle in, the field spread is happening, and now we have Albon getting past us in that Williams, and that's job done for him as I am absolutely having an absolute mare on the brakes there into turn number 1. I was really struggling with the brakes. I should probably have moved the front brake bias forward, but whenever I did that, I couldn't really rotate the car that I'd like, so I think I'm faster like this, but I'm a lot less consistent, as you can clearly see here, losing the back end again. But, you know, at the same time, I'm still in the points, so not all hope is lost. And, you know, so we've actually caught back up to Albon again, but that was because he had a car problem, and me being the fantastic editor that I am, forgot to include that. God, why did I quit YouTube? I can't imagine why. But anyway, we're in P5 now, and Fernando is behind us in P6, as into turn number 1 once again, just trying to, you know, rotate the car in, just trying to be as late on the brakes as possible, pushing all the time here. You can now see all the drivers have come in very early, even the ones on the medium. So, at this point, I believe, including my teammate, that they are all two-stopping. Now, this is where I got a light bulb moment where I thought, well, hang on, why don't I try and do the one-stop? Because if I remember correctly on F1 2020, when I used to do 50% races online, I remember it was always a one-stop. Like, you could make the one-stop work quite easily, and you could gain loads of positions. So, at this point, I'm going with the one-stop here. I mean, I have got stuff to lose. I was in the points, but, you know, if there's more to gain, then of course I'm going to do it. So I've stayed out, I've extended the stint to lap 12, and now we're going to pit for the hard tyres. This should be just enough to get them to the end with decent tyre life, but you can see I've really taken all the life out of these medium tyres there, barely able to slow it down for the pit lane, but you can see turning is good, and hopefully the pit crew can change the tyres in a good amount of time, and they do. You can see Hulk has also followed us in, and he is going on to the medium tyres. He's obviously done hard medium, but I imagine he would be pitting again because doing 12 laps on the hards, it's not enough for a one-stop. He's going to be doing more laps on the mediums then, which is obviously not going to happen. So we have actually been able to maintain position there. The overcut has worked. Fernando is about the same distance behind us as he was when he pit, and so now we have a fresher tyre advantage, but the tyres are cold, and so Fernando now coming down the inside into turn number 1, but I've timed it well just so I can pick up DRS off him, and should I be fighting my teammate this hard? I'm not too sure I should, but it's just the racer's instinct to not let your teammate go. It's kind of an ego thing, but you can see here I'm going to try and hang it around the outside of Fernando Alonso. I go very deep into the corner, but looks like I might be able to get the traction as I push Alonso to the inside of the track, mess up his line, get him on a tight line. I'm just going to hang it around the outside, and my engineer when I'm midway through a fucking battle asks me to start charging my ERS. No. Why would I charge my ERS when I'm in a battle? God, it's so stupid. Anyway, Fernando is coming at me once again down the straight, and please no one take that out of context and edit that. But Fernando round the outside with another car. He's brought someone else with him. Who's that? Hulk. But I've, just thrown it down the inside, and I've got them both. So we are kind of losing a lot of time here. Fernando's got to stop again, so if anything, I'm kind of just screwing him over because he's clearly quicker than me at this stage of the Grand Prix. I really should, for the best of the team, let him go, but I was actually able to pull away from them eventually here. So luckily, that's kind of resolved itself, that issue. But we are also catching up to the cars ahead. Perez, as we are on the fresher tyres, is now Sainz, and all his pals are pit. And we are back up into P10, but of course there are a lot of drivers ahead of us who still need to pit, and it'll be interesting to see where we feed back into this race when everyone has pit, and we can see the gaps and see what we're kind of, what we're playing with here, and we'll get a better indication of, what can we get from this race, what's on offer for us. So everyone's in the pits now, and we've jumped up to P3 here, and I think that is the leader, Lando Norris. So wow, we are effectively in P2 in this race. Yeah, Piastri is behind us. So we are now in an effective P2 in this Grand Prix with 10 laps to go. Well, 11 laps to go. You got to say, it's looking quite good for us. But, of course, we got to stay here. And we're on dead tyres in a much slower car. So I don't think I'm going to waste any time with Piastri here. I think, if he wants to go past, I'm not going to stop him. But you can see I've got it in overtake here. I'm not going to make it too easy. I'm not going to lift off the throttle because I don't want to lose any race time. And I kind of want to get it, plan it a little bit tactically so I can get DRS off him. Because Hamilton's 5 seconds behind here. And you know what? With only a handful of laps to go, that's not a good, way to, first of all, look after your tyres. And also, it's not a good way to, gain fast lap time. But you can see here, I'm going to turn the battery down and let Piastri go, and I'm just going to nick some DRS off him. Because I'm thinking at this point, we're in 3rd place, we have a handful of laps to go. Could we have the dream debut, I keep saying debut, return to Formula 1 and get Seb on the podium in the Aston Martin? He took 2 podiums for Aston Martin, Baku 2021, which is a race we don't talk about as I hit Piastri, and Hungary 2021. Which, well, I personally believe he got 2nd place. Fuck the fuel irregularity or whatever the hell it was on his car. I don't care. That was P2 for him. But you can now see on lap 24, Hamilton is closing in on us. He's about 1.7 seconds behind, but we have an 11-second gap to Ricciardo, which I doubt he's going to be able to close in as we now move on to lap 25. Hamilton is now 2 tenths behind us, so I've got a decision here to make, guys. I'm kind of in a dilemma here. Do I bag a safe P4 and a good load of points, or do I go for glory and be selfish and try and hang on for the podium, but potentially risk a crash or, overcooking my tyres and having nothing to fight with? But it looks like I haven't got much of a choice here. I have to make up my mind because there goes Hamilton up the inside into the last corner. I'm going to try and hang it around the outside, but I lose the back end, and looks like I'm going to go for it here. I'm going to open the DRS down this straight. I'm in Hamilton's slipstream. I'm going to go back around the outside. I don't know how long I can hold on to this for, but I'm going to try everything I can to keep this podium position for a dream return to F1, but I've lost the back end into turn number 1. That's going to allow Hamilton through, but I'm going to hang it down the inside here as we now come up through the straight. Now I need to swing back right to stop Hamilton from going up the inside. He's going to have to go around the outside if he wants to pass me, but it looks like he's going to rise to that challenge as he goes round the outside of me here. And he has got that position back, so now it's my turn to play catch-up on Hamilton. But it's going to be a lot harder. I've got a much slower car. My tyres are absolutely dead. Hamilton has all the grip in the world. He has all the advantages. I'm just going to have to go with pure will and determination here if I want to get that podium back, because losing it, oh man, that's absolutely horrible. Absolutely horrible. So I'm going to try everything in my power now to get back onto the podium, but you can see the car snaking all around. I have nothing left on the tyres. They're just massively degraded at this point. You can see here on lap 27, we're in the slipstream, we've got the DRS. What are we going to do? We're going to send it down the inside, kind of a fake move, but it actually dukes Hamilton into a mistake here. And it looks like we may have presented or brought about an opportunity for ourselves here, but I've got no battery down the straight. What are we going to do into this corner here? We're going to try the same thing again, but this time Hamilton. Lightning does not strike twice on this occasion. Hamilton does not make the same mistake. And he's pulling away now as we go through our worst sector. And I just wonder, was that the moment where our podium just slipped out of our hands? I think it was. Man, that was such a tight battle with Lewis. We really tried everything we could, you know, really were just desperate moves in the end there. But, you know, you can't fault me for trying. You know, at least I can, you know, finish this race knowing that I gave it my all. I didn't just let him go through like I did with Oscar. You know, I really tried to fight for the podium, but unfortunately it just was not meant to be on this occasion. However, you know, we're in P4. Like that's a dream result for this Aston Martin team, but I don't know, it's kind of dampened the result a bit knowing that I've lost the podium. But I need to look at the positives. First race for Aston Martin, back at Aston Martin for Seb, and we've got him into P4. It's not too bad, so hopefully, you know, this is a sign of good things to come in this season. Hopefully we can just build upon this momentum, but obviously I've got to actually get to the flag first. These tyres are absolutely shot, and you can see my gap to Ricciardo is decreasing rapidly. But, you know, we've got 5 seconds in the bag. Lando Norris should be crossing the line any moment soon to take the season opener. I actually recorded this before the season opener, so I don't know if I'm predicting stuff here. But, yeah, Lando takes the win. Piastri, luckily there's no grass in Bahrain, so he's able to come home in second. And Hamilton will pick up a podium, which is where he bloody should have been in his first race for Ferrari. But we don't talk about that. Anyway, I'm going to come over the line for a very hard-fought P4. Race 1 done. Lando Norris takes the Bahrain Grand Prix. It's a McLaren 1-2 for the first race of the season. Hamilton completing the podium with ourselves in P4. Ricciardo for AlphaTauri there, doing a very good job. Pierre Gasly, who was our rival in the opening part of the race, in P6. Verstappen, not sure what happened with him there. I guess the two-stop just, I don't know, I guess it didn't work for him. He didn't have the track position that the McLarens had. And Leclerc, good little comeback there into P8. Sainz having an absolute disastrous race there down in P14. I feel like the AI really messed up on their strategies in this race. But that's everything for the Bahrain Grand Prix, you guys. I hope you did enjoy this first episode. Make sure you leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed it. And hopefully there will be more similar results like this for the next few races. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you later.